Shinichi is a fucking man at this point. He had to do what he had to do in this episode, and I feel so bad for him just right at the end, just passing out, knowing that there was no suffering in the end. And I was just like, but just how the way he looks, it just looks absolutely badass. That's all I can absolutely say about this episode of Parasite. So I got me from the start of this one, it was like pretty fucking slow. Like I kind of knew from like the last week's episode that that wasn't going to be his mom. There was like some dude, and his name is like Mamoru, like it means to protect, and it was like, he's there with a parasite actually, and it's like on his neck. So this is like the first person like Shinichi's like met that is actually like him, who's actually had a parasite that he can coexist with, that hasn't like completely taken over his brain. And we got the explanation why he was going to kill himself, and then it literally hatched and he fell and he was now about to drown, and the parasite literally had no other reason but to actually take over the neck, literally stretch it out so it could actually get some air so he could like swim out of there. And it seems like it's like in a worse situation than what Shinichi is good at. He's like, I can't speak, let me talk to motherfucker. And he's like, gets him like a part of the mouth, and he's explaining, yeah, I went to kill myself since my wife left me, you know, my life is shit. And he pretty much had it, and then they got took over, and it seems like they're getting over. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe this might be the one that they actually call the species themselves, because he calls this one parasite, so it's like, oh, these instead of calling them monsters and stuff like that, from now on we're probably just gonna call them parasites and stuff like that. And I imagine, you know, that's kind of like where the name kind of gets its name from, you know, since they are parasites, they take over the bodies and stuff like that, and got one of their own. And it seems like another interesting thing that was said after this, because like honestly it's like it did feel a bit slow getting introduced to this guy, although it all did come to fruition at the end of this episode when we found out about like Migi that only like 70% of the original body is left. And this explains why Shinichi's like got superhuman speed, strength and stuff. He was saying like he was running faster than an Olympic like gold medalist at that point. It's like it was showing that, you know, he's actually got Migi's stuff in his brain, and they can split off. Like they can generally split off and start like causing their own personalities. But the thing is that it's like, oh, actually, you know, this is like better off like this way. And it's like we don't think these cells are gonna reactivate anytime soon. And it's like, because imagine that he has like 3 or 4, 5 parasites inside his body at this point. Like all of them are like a split personality. Although like the more he keeps splitting up, as he was showing like that, the more that, you know, they keep getting weaker and they have their split personalities. But the more that they keep splitting, then they're going to get weaker and weaker. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like a great strategy though, to keep spying on people. So like you could literally have like one of these parasites like go off somewhere, I feel like, for a while. Like if they can actually, if they have like a good stream, I know, connection to like some, I know, some bloodstream or something like that, like you could literally have these guys like possess like people, or I know, get information about them. I don't know, I feel like that's something that could be used like later on throughout the series, I feel like, without. But the most meat of this episode was definitely Shinichi versus his mother, and it was just like, god damn, like just the emotions when you find out that freaking Mamoru was literally getting attacked by like his mom, and it was like they didn't even last long at all. It was just like, oh, let's have these clashes and stuff like that, like for a while, and he just gets like stabbed in the heart straight away, and he's just like on the cliff, and like literally just to leave him like a shit. Like the thing is, Migi was falling asleep in this episode. It's like, I'm gonna leave you with this, and it was just left him with his arm transformed into a sword. And you just see like that fight looked absolutely awesome. Like he was there dodging and thing, and like the parasite for his mother. Like how is this even happening like that? The human shouldn't even be at the speed. And he was understanding that oh, they don't like cause you blades. They literally transform at high speeds just to literally hit you with the blades and stuff like that. So it's like definitely interesting with that part as they were doing that. And it's just like, yeah, this was an awesome fight. It just felt like it was very quick. I thought this was going to be like a 2-episode fight or something, not just something that get concluded halfway through the episode. And it was like not even Shinichi didn't finish it off. It was actually Mamoru that finished him off with Parasite, and they're saying like, oh, like pretty much we just moved our hearts and organs to a different place. So yeah, that's pretty fucking tragic actually to see that. But it's like, when she just killed her off, because he was going, you know, he was going ham, but he just couldn't do it in the end because he saw that burn mark, and he's just like, that's my mom at the end of the day. And Mamoru is right. It's like, you shouldn't have the, you know, you shouldn't have to kill your own mother. Let me do that for you. Like, that's the right thing. So I'm wondering if he's now going to become like a friend of his, or like a side character or something like that. Like we're going to see later on. But I don't know. It's like there's just something about it. It's like I don't trust other people that Shinichi like right now. But it seems like this episode ended, and you know, he's back to school, and he looks a lot different now. He looks like one of the first volumes now. He looks freaking beast, like with his hair like that and stuff. And he looks like a lot more badass and stuff. So I'm kind of really enjoying that part like of this episode. It was a really good episode. Just like I felt like the first half was like, you know, we had a little information about Mamoru and some other stuff, and then the fight was a little bit short. But other than that, it was still good content in itself. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Very good episode. Really did enjoy this one of Parasite. I just wish we had a little bit more of the fight between his mother and Shinichi as well. But not gonna mention like that was a really great episode. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? But that's all for me. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys